Yeah, yeah. Uncle Peckerhead. So there you go.
Yeah.
There, Andrew. Any recommendations for cheesy horror flicks? Need to find something for after this. The movie is Uncle Peckerhead, is the one that V recommends. Can everybody hear V, by the way? Just let me know before we move forward with this. Today's not going to be a full episode, just for anybody who's coming in here thinking that we're going to do a 2.5 hour thing. We're not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's time change tonight for those of us who don't
Oh,
live
is
in
that
Arizona.
is that tonight?
It is tonight.
Uh,
It is indeed.
shit.
It is indeed. You know, I was doing homework all day, so I just don't have it in me. I don't have a full 2 hour. It might. You know what? I say that, and every time I say this isn't going to be like a full 2 hour long or like super long episode, it ends up being like something comes up where we end up dragging it out for fucking ever.
Yeah.
So V, how do you want to start out this 2 hour episode? what did you do other than as I understand it, you're doing some kind of new diet trend? Did you want to
Yeah,
talk about
no,
that a little bit?
I don't know if I told you about I don't know if I told you, but I'm doing this intermittent fasting.
And what's that all about?
No, I don't have anything pertaining to that. I know we always talk about that, but I got nothing, man. I gave you everything. Well, here's something interesting. Did you see that guy that left a comment on our last episode, Marcus Aurelius? Marcus
Marcus
What's
Dinkus?
his name?
I don't
Yeah,
remember his name.
Dinkus.
It's something Marcus
He said
Dinkus.
something like another garbage episode is what he said about our last episode, which makes me go, first of all, like, let me backpedal and go, hang on a second, like, you first of all, you said another garbage episode, which implies that you've watched other episodes of our, which means you didn't think that just that episode is garbage, but you've seen other episodes of ours that you thought was garbage. So to me, that's as if I saw an episode that was garbage, I wouldn't come back. So what is wrong with this dude? He's like, I don't have enough time in my life, or I have too much time in my life, so I'm going to sit down and watch garbage shows just so that I can tell them that they're garbage.
You know what?
It's like
As
that.
I have a lot of respect for him. For Marcus Kane is his name. I like Marcus Dinkus better.
Yeah.
I pulled it up just so that I could answer or I can talk intelligently about it. I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for Marcus Dinkus because I'm as somebody who listens to audiobooks of Stephen King just so that I can shit on him. Like,
Oh yeah.
maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know how many people do that. I don't know how many people like go out of their way to learn more about something just to shit on it. Just like the same reason that I studied like transgender statistics about them still killing themselves. Like 40% of them end up
This is
killing
like
themselves.
this is like a it's like the topic, man. Like it's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier about people going through Twitter and then typing in a hot word and then looking up things about it so they can like talk shit to those people. Like, and it all goes back to me going, what are you doing with your life that this is like important to you? I like they're sitting in like, and this is how I picture it: is they're sitting in front of the computer and then they type in, whatever keyword, Terminator Genesis, right? And then they scroll down and then they see Tom Miller or whatever. You had me at Bigfoot. Terminator Genesis is the worst. And then they're just like losing their shit because they don't have anything else in their life other than Terminator Genesis, apparently. And that's what they're doing. That's like that. I just feel like there's more productive ways to spend your time.
Well, evidently not. And
Like,
for the record, I would never say anything unkind about Terminator Genesis. I might have at the time that it was
no.
the worst of the series.
Was it Genesis? No,
It was
Genesis.
Dark Fury. No, it was Dark Fury. Was the one that weird-looking lesbian chick yelled at me about.
What's the one with what's his name? Sam Worthington.
That
like that
would
dude.
be.
Christian
It's
Bale.
not Genesis. It's Salvation. That's Salvation.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I
actually
like that
one of my
one.
favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite too. I like that one.
Between that one and Terminator 2, those are the good ones. I have a theory about Terminator.
and Muslim Bale. He plays
Muslim
John
Jewish Bale.
Yeah, Sabbath Day
He
Adventist
plays the
Bale.
Rabbi Terminator. Oi! Oi, what year are we in? The year 1997. This is what, 4 years before the September 11th attacks that we're planning. Oh, and he went there. But no, I have a theory about Terminator. I don't know if I've said this on the show.
Maybe.
Every other Terminator is a good Terminator. And then, so conversely, every other one is a bad one.
So that would imply that the next one might be good, right?
No, because they fucked it up. Now here's how, okay?
You fucked it up?
You fucked it up, dude. Are you fucking this up?
Yeah.
What happened was Terminator 1 wasn't very good. It was okay. I mean, it was good enough to get us to Terminator 2, which is great. I like Terminator 2. And I think objectively, people across the world would agree with me. Terminator 2 is one of the best Terminators, if not the best. Now, what happened was, because it's a time travel movie, there's a split in the timeline, right? There are multiple timelines that happen. And so it goes Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation, right? And then Terminator Genesis. But what happens with Terminator 2 and then Dark Fury is that's actually the alternate timeline. It splits off.
Is that what it's called? Dark Fury?
I think so. I don't know. It's the girl power one. We might as well call it Terminator Girl Power.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
which would mean my theory is still correct. Terminator 1, Terminator 2, good. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, I mean, it's fun, but it's not. I certainly wouldn't call it good.
That was the one with what's her head from
Claire Danes
from my so-called life. Yeah, Claire Danes. Yeah, remember her with her butt chin? She's got a butt chin.
Yeah,
got a butt chin.
And then like a weird dude who doesn't look anything like John Connor. And then Terminator Salvation, great. Terminator Genesis, is fun again, but not good. But you have Terminator 2 and then Terminator Dark Fury, which follows after it on that same timeline. Horrible movie, I assume. I don't know. I've never watched it because it's a girl power movie, and I don't give any money to that. So somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. If Dark Fury is any good, please let me know. But assuming they continue and they do a follow-up to that movie, my theory would truly be tested, because then it would be good. If my theory is correct, the next Terminator movie in that line would be a good Terminator movie. So I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to. Only time will tell.
Remember the show, the Terminator show with
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
With the no.
Yeah, Sarah Connor Chronicles.
What is it called? The one with the girl. What was the lead singer of Garbage? Shirley Manson.
Hole.
She played a Terminator.
No, not Hole. What am I thinking? You literally just told me what her name was.
Garbage.
Yeah, wasn't that Sarah Connor Chronicles?
I don't know. She played a Terminator. Shirley Manson.
She played a Terminator, or
I'm pretty sure she played a Terminator.
Oh,
Shirley Manson. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
I believe
I don't know. I'm throwing a dart at in space here. I don't know
either. I have the first season of the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles. I can't. I have a hard time saying it. It's too many words in a row that kind of are similar. I've not watched it. I have the first season, and I've been meaning to watch it, but you know me, I don't ever have time for things. So unless it's a podcast,
shitting
or
on
a live
Steve.
stream, or and somebody's corrected me. It's Dark Fate. It's not Dark Fury. Dark Fury is, I think, from the Dark Fury is from.
That's the movie with
Chronicles
Brad Pitt
Riddick.
where they do the tanks. Remember they're in the tanks.
That's regular Fury. That's
regular.
But then there's the Dark
Fury.
Yeah, the Dark Fury was part of the Chronicles of Riddick series. So I think.
Oh yeah.
Am I right?
With Groot, right?
Is it? Oh, you're talking about Vin Diesel. Vin unleaded.
Vin high octane. Yeah, both the gasoline joke. That proves that we're on the same level, because we both did a gasoline joke.
Well, you have to. Like, anytime somebody's name comes up, Christian Bale, Muslim Bale, Jewish Bale, Vin Diesel, Vin high octane, Vin unleaded. Vin Premium.
Scientologist sale. Yeah.
So, is that all that's new this week? We were talking about, and how that lady was all pissed off at me because she had Terminator shit. Well, she had Terminator Dark Fate shit all over her wall. Like, and she posts a picture of her holding her Terminator Dark Fate Sarah Connor character action figure, and she posts that picture, and
the proud of her life.
And then I'm like, okay, well that's cool. I have Terminator action figures. I got a bunch of them. So I ended up taking a picture with like 5 of my Terminator Salvation action figures, and I sent it back to her. But then the more I looked at her picture, the funnier it became, because I noticed that she had like a copy of Terminator Dark Fate on the table. She had a Terminator Dark Fate poster on the wall. She had Terminator Dark Fate playing in the background on the TV. She had a Terminator Dark Fate shirt on. Like, everything in her house or in her apartment was Terminator Dark Fate. And
she had Terminator coasters underneath her cups, and
she had like those old McDonald's cups that you could get. You would go and you'd pay like $1 with your meal, and you get like a Terminator cup or whatever the hot movie was at the time. That's what she had. Her cupboards were all, but only Dark Fate, because like I didn't see a single non-Dark Fate Terminator. Kyle is asking for a link to this woman and her Terminator.
I guess we have to back up this claim because this is true. She had a Terminator do-rag, a novelty do-rag.
You know what, V? I need you to. Was this on the You Had Me at Bigfoot account, or was this before I got?
No, it was on it. It was on the You Had Me at Bigfoot account. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I wasn't Fat Baggins, if that's what you're saying, because I wasn't even on Twitter before Fat Baggins, and I'm pretty sure I said something on it. I made a comment like, "Get a life" or something snarky, like, "What are you doing with your life?" I used to tell that kid, man. He'd say something about I gotta get weed, man. I need to smoke, and I'd go, "What are you doing with your life? Like, look at you, man. Like, do something with your life. Like, look at you. That's what you got going on. Is where am I gonna get my weed?" No offense to Mike in Manitoba.
Our weed guy. I have to scroll through like a ton of. What I do is I save all the funny times that like I've trolled people on Twitter and Facebook. Remember, I used to do that thing where I would post. I would post on like the Fox 19 website. Oh, here I've got Kurt Eichenwald blocking me.
We both did that. Remember, we both did that for a while when we were both on Facebook.
Yep.
We were trolling Fox 19 forever.
I saved all those.
I miss those days, actually. Except for I deleted my Facebook because it's they're selling my information to the Russians and like everybody.
To the Chinamen.
Yeah, to the Chinese. China.
I got a ton on here. Oh, I said, what was I watching? Help me out, Kurt Eichenwald. And I had like superimposed a picture of tentacle porn on my computer. I got blocked immediately by that one.
Nice. Kurt Eichenwald, that was classic too, man. The classic burn about his tentacle porn, because he had tentacle porn. Like, how do you do? It's like that lady that tried to take a selfie in the bathroom, and then there's like a turd in the. Yep. It's like you just took a dump and then got up to take a selfie.
Somebody help me out. How do I search my tweets? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do I search Terminator and like also You Had Me at Bigfoot? How do I do that? Somebody needs to help me out here.
It's what do you call it? Hashtag. I don't know, man. Come on. I'm on Twitter like once a week, and it's usually to be like, tonight's episode in a nutshell.
Oh, I found it. I found her.
And you found it.
I found
her. What
was
her name?
It's I'll type it in the chat here too.
It's funny because like this is how pathetic really we are, because here we are talking shit about people that troll. They get on Twitter, man, and then they go troll people. That's all they do with their life. And then we're like spending our like opening like looking from some lady to shit on. What assholes?
She's got new pictures here on her page, and
is it
she's got
Terminator.
Get this, she's got a mask. She's in her house. All right, and I can tell it's her house because she's got pictures of herself up. But she's in her house. She had carved a pumpkin, and she's got a mask on.
Is the pumpkin in the shape of the T-1000?
No, she doesn't like that one. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right.
She says, "All right, folks, show me your squash," and she's next to a pumpkin. Like this lady's.
How many likes does it have is the question.
Oh, 12. She's got 12 likes.
Oh, man.
That's pretty impressive.
That's decent. Yeah, that's impressive.
She's got 177 followers, so. But yeah, her name is Fortuna Fidelis. She's got a little...
Fortuna, the goddess of
fortune?
Luck. Yeah, fortune, obviously. Yeah.
She doesn't have a whole lot of Terminator stuff on here anymore. But it has been a couple years, so...
Has it been a couple years? I feel like that was recently. Time, I have no concept of it, dude. It's a mystery to me. It's a construct,
Apparently,
get it?
Yeah, no. I would disagree. The I don't know why I would disagree with you. I'm trying to find that picture of her. This is where I tried to invite her on the show to give us a review of Terminator Dark Fate. And she
that's right.
Remember?
She wasn't having it, yeah. She's like, why would I go hang out with these assholes? It's like Matt Squatch. Every time Matt Squatch shows up, I have to be like, why does he show up? Like, he knows. Like, and it's funny because last time, like, I knew, like, he knows that we're going to, like, make fun of him and kind of shit on him. So he comes out swinging. It's like, he's, like, already burning us, and we're like, whoa.
I feel a little bad about it because, he was going to originally come on the show tonight for You Halloween Bigfoot. And
yeah.
I never got back with him.
Oh, a dick move.
I know. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna share the thing so that everybody can see.
All right.
I'm just retweeting it, the original picture where like I'm posing with all my Terminator Salvation shit. and she's posing with her Terminator Dark Fate shit.
It would be funny if we could get a bunch of people to do, like, how like memes that like, or like people do that where someone posts like something and then everybody does that, like planking. Remember when planking started?
I do.
It'd be cool if we did that where everybody took pictures of their their memorabilia, their action,
their Terminator specific memorabilia. Hold on, no. Here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna post it on here too, so that everybody can see it, so everyone can have a laugh. Everybody was talking about
we can all have a good laugh.
Yeah. Fidelis Fortuna Fidelis. Sounds like a bank, right?
It does. It sounds like a loan company, somebody that I owe money to.
But only like you could only like borrow money if you intend to buy Terminator memorabilia.
Is that your picture? Oh man, you even did it like how she did it. That's great. That's so good. Classic. I can't wait for them to. Because are you gonna put them side by side?
I am.
Good move. I feel like I'm giving it away. Like, well, how petty. How petty. Like, oh man, that's so funny to me. She's so happy. That's a genuine smile. Look, she has a Terminator bobblehead. Even.
Yeah, Terminator. And then you look in the background, in that picture in the background, it's Dark Fate.
She's got the Terminator standee.
She's got the whole
got
setup.
A Terminator shirt on. It's a Terminator shirt. Do you have a Terminator shirt on? No, you don't.
No, I have a Boba Fett. I think that's my Boba Fett shirt.
It's Linda Hamilton.
And that's what, like...
I bet this wants to suck Linda Hamilton's dick, dude.
She probably would.
That's literally... It's not just the Terminator here. It's just all Linda Hamilton. Does she know that Linda Hamilton isn't a lesbian?
I don't know.
She's married to what's the Avatar guy? Who's the guy that made Avatar?
Steven Spielberg.
No, not Steven.
James Cameron. James Cameron.
James,
Same
yeah, that's
guy.
who she's married to. Titanic, dude. She looks terrible now. She's like ancient.
Well, yeah.
You know what too is they gave that lesbian haircut. That's a total lesbian haircut.
Yeah, that's the
You know where they shave a little bit on the side. It's like the worst, dude.
Well, she's just like, she wants to speak to the manager of Skynet for the whole movie.
It's fucking stupid. What is she doing?
Someone
Oh
said,
my God.
yeah, it was, yeah, Andrew said the more you look at it, the funnier it gets. Because it really does, like, if you just look at it in passing, you're like, she's excited about her new Terminator movie or whatever. And then, like, you just pass it by. But then as you look, t-shirt, bobblehead, action figure, some more shit behind the action figure, the poster in the background. There's, like, a do not disturb sign with Linda Hamilton on it or whatever.
Oh, man. You know, I imagine that her house is filled with that kind of stuff. Like everywhere you turn.
More.
It's like a shrine.
You know
There's
what's
a
funny?
shrine.
I bet she was like, wait, oh man, now I got to pull up. You know what? I'm not going to because we've run this thing for far too long.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
she, if I remember correctly, she was talking about having her friends over to come watch Terminator Dark Fate in a tweet, and all I could think was people showing up, like her friends, assuming there are friends, and they come over and they're like, oh my goodness, are we watching Terminator Dark Fate again? Like,
they're like every time. They're like, can we at least watch like the next one or the first one? Like, can we watch them in order? No, this is the best one.
This is the only good one.
Or she doesn't even realize that there's like other ones. She doesn't even know. Oh man.
Oh, good grief. All right. This lady has had enough of our picking on or whatever.
We literally spent 10 minutes just making fun of this lady. Poor girl.
And then people in the chat are talking about Titanic Dude because you said when you were talking about James Cameron and you called him Titanic Dude. And now everyone's talking about him like he's a superhero.
Titanic Dude. Yeah, that's a good superhero name. I dig it.
Now, is Titanic Dude? Is he like related to the ship Titanic, or is Titanic just? Are we using that as a word like he's gigantic or like enormous?
Yeah, like a generalization.
Which one?
Yeah, I think it would be enormous. Yeah, or he is the Titanic, like he has the Titanic for a body.
So he's
like his arms and
Autobot
attached to a Titanic. Like his middle section is just the Titanic.
I imagine
know what I mean?
He is the Autobot version of the Titanic. Like,
oh yeah.
He comes from what the hell's that planet that they all live on?
Cybertron.
I can't keep track of all these robot planets.
Lord.
But he comes from there, and he assumes the shape of the Titanic, and everyone like calls him, like they say that it's in poor taste for him to change into the Titanic when he's a vehicle. But he's the best one because he's huge. So I'm Titanic dude, Titanic man, Titanic bot. What are they called? Optimus. What's his Autobot name?
Titanic dude. No.
Titanus Prime. Is Prime a last name? No, because Bumblebee is like a thing. And then we got Starscream. So what's his? He would just be Titanic. That's a lazy Autobot name, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a lazy Autobot.
But either way, he transforms into the Titanic in his vehicle form, and
remember we talked about this. This is my favorite icebreaker. We're on my favorite icebreaker now, where you ask somebody, if you were a transformer, what vehicle would you transform into? That's like one of my favorite icebreakers right there. So what would you?
Me? Well, since we're on the topic of turning into vehicles that are in poor taste, I think like with him turning into the Titanic, I have to try to outdo him. I would turn into the boxcar train that shipped the Jews to the concentration camps.
You're gonna say like the Hindenburg.
I'm a whole train that just is like full of Jews. Like Thomas.
I would transform into that train that crashed into the the plane.
We all just pal around with each other because we accidentally decided to become vehicles that were that are in poor taste.
Terror associated with terrorists. Transform into the U-Haul truck that crashed into the World Trade Center
back in 94. And then one of you is a plane and the other one is the U-Haul truck, and then you have to like shit on him because it's like, oh, I killed more people than you did. Also, I'm bigger. So that's a win for you, V. I think you win. Fucking 9/11 bot.
9/11 con. 9/11ist.
I'm Auschwitz Scream is my name.
Yeah, Auschwitz Scream. Oh man, what the?
And we were supposed to do just like a gay, trashy romance novel here, and instead we're gonna get in trouble for doing that. So here's what we're gonna do. We are as most of you know, I'm sure, and have come here to view. V and I will be doing a dramatic reading of not being. What's it called? Not being not pounded by anything while I practice responsible social distancing. By Chuck Tingle, and what I want to do, because I had never heard of this guy before, I'd never heard of his silly stories that he writes, and that seemed like a ridiculous title to a story. But then I look and I come to find out, like, this is not even his most outlandish title for a story. And so I've pulled up all of his story titles, and what we're gonna play a game where I read the funny ones off and try to get V to laugh, and his goal is to not laugh. So we'll go ahead and start with are you ready, V?
Yeah, I'm ready. I haven't heard these before yet either. Just so we're clear, and I don't know. I have no idea what I'm in for here.
Okay. So, my billionaire triceratops craves gay ass is the first one. Off to a good start. Gay T-Rex law firm executive boner. Let's see.
That's pretty good. Executive boner.
Executive boner. LLC. Pounded by the gay color-changing dress, turned gay by the living alpha diner, glazed by the gay living donuts, anally yours, the unicorn sailor, pounded in the butt by my own butt, and then pounded in the butt, the sequel, pounded in the butt by my book, pounded in the butt by my own butt.
What? That's ridiculous. That's redundant, is what that is.
The Curse of Bigfoot Butt Camp. That might be one worth looking into.
Yeah.
Angry man pounded by the fear of his latent gayness over a dinosaur transitioning into a unicorn.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Happy birthday, Frankenstein. Now pound my butt. It's a pretty good one. Oppressed in the butt by my inclusive holiday coffee cups.
What? Was that the first one where the title didn't include the word pounded?
I guess. No, many of them don't. I haven't included a lot of them. I've been skipping over some of them that didn't seem especially funny. Here's, in case you were wondering, there is a third in the series. Pounded in the butt by my book, pounded in the butt by my book, pounded in the butt by my own butt.
That's ridiculous.
8 Bigfoot buckaroos hate my butt and pound it. Oh, good news. If you didn't get the closure that you saw it in the previous one, get ready for Pounded in the Butt by my book, Pounded in the Butt by my book, Pounded in the Butt by my book, Pounded in the Butt by my own book. That one's hard to say. I almost had it too.
Yeah. That's a lot of butt pounding.
And if that wasn't enough, now there's another one. I'm not going to go through it because it just says the same thing 5 times. Pounded by the pound, turned gay by the socio-economic implications of Britain leaving the European Union. Slammed by the substantial amount of press generated by my book, Pounded by the Pound, turned gay by the socio-economic implications of Britain leaving the European Union. Here's one. Slammed in the butt by Donald Trump's attempt to avoid accusations of plagiarism by removing all facts or concrete plans from his Republican National Convention speech. He does a lot of political related ones here. This was actually from back in 2016. Yeah, we're not even close to where we are. I mean, this dude has a lot of them. There's actually a follow-up to his Pounded in the Butt by my book, by my butt book one. There's a Bitcoin in my butt and he is handsome.
I'm surprised that he hasn't used other innuendos. Like, you could say pounded or slammed, which is he's using a lot. But like, there's also pumping. Like, you remember pumping buns?
Yeah, pumping buns. That's a good one. This one, yeah, slammed in the butt by my handsome laundry detergent pod. So slammed is another one that he uses. Slammed and taken hotly by the handsome physically manifested hot take. The butt files, the case of Bigfoot's wiener. So this is like, if you've ever watched, and I know you have, Bob's Burgers. Remember Tina? She writes the erotic fan fiction or friend fiction. Yeah. And they all have names like this. Like
I love Tina. She's like my favorite. Tina's my favorite on that show. Her and the daughter Louise, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Louise. Yeah, those are my favorite on that show. I like the mom. Actually, they're all pretty great. The mom, what's her name? Linda. She's pretty great. Yeah.
But so you can see what's going on here with all the pounded in the butts and whatnot. And well, just so I wanted to kind of get that out there because obviously tonight's story that we're reading is called Not Pounded by Anything While I Practice Responsible Social Distancing. So this is a difference. I like this collection that he has. It's Scary Stories to Tingle Your Butt. 7 Tales of Gay Terror. That's a actual collection that you can purchase. I almost bought this book for tonight using the t-shirt money and the shower curtain money, but I'm glad I didn't, because what I did was I just typed in the title of the book, which I regret, because now in my search engines, like the ads that pop up or whatever, but I typed that and then I put PDF. And it popped up, and it actually said Chuck Tingle releases his COVID theme gay erotica or whatever for free. So you could download it. So actually this book is free. You can actually download it for free. And as well as there are a couple other books that you can get from him.
Did you take your shot and address the audience one by one?
I did not yet.
Did you do any of that?
Nope, I didn't.
I don't know. Well, you blew that one, huh?
Well, we haven't actually started yet. We haven't done
Auschwitz Prime.
Yes, to Auschwitz Prime and 9/11 bot, right?
Yeah. Auschwitz Prime. The train. That's funny. That's
an inconvenient vehicle to have to turn into, because you're really limited. You're limited.
You could be the what was the space shuttle? The Challenger. Remember the Challenger?
The one that blew up.
The Challenger.
They're just rubbing it in the face of all the families that lost loved ones. Oh, yep. All right.
So did you do that? Did you do a shot?
All right, I did the shot, and I'll go ahead and I'll go through the chat. I haven't kept. I've got 4 people written down from early on in the episode.
Were you on the screen when you did that? Or?
I did, yeah, I did. And then I had to wipe my face on screen and everything too. I changed it when you were talking about the Autobot.
Auschwitz Prime.
So, welcome aboard Master Roshi's Gaming, VS, Andrew, Mike in Manitoba, and now I got to go line by line here. Kyle, and then we got Arc-Andre, and then I want to make sure I don't miss anybody, and then Justin Welker, of course, and then I think I already said Kyle, and then Jeff Doxworthy, and then I like when there's a funny name and it catches me off guard because some of them I haven't seen. Patrick O'Floyne, and that's a dangerous game too because someone could come on here. Jay Coop, welcome aboard. And they could have a super funny name like, Amanda Hug and Kiss. And I'll be like, I just want Amanda Hug and Kiss. And then Capable Guardian, welcome. And that looks like, I think we got everybody, all right? And we've got 10 people now. So I think that adds up to 10 people. I don't assume that that's all the people that were there. But what we're going to do tonight, as most of you know, is we're going to do a dramatic reading of Not Pounded in the Butt by Your Butt. While practicing responsible social distancing. And this was actually a request from Jurassic Weeb, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, is Andrew in the chat. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he's the otaku.
Yeah.
Otaku/weeb.
He was the one who recommended it. And, because we love our fans so very much, we decided
that's the truth.
That's what we were going to do today. Is we were going to do the dramatic. He asked how many retweets or how many likes or whatever it would take for us to do a dramatic reading of it, and I said 0 because we do just about anything for a laugh.
We'll do it. Yeah.
So that's what we're doing today. Is we're going to do this dramatic reading. V is actually going to be narrating. And originally, I had tried to put the narrating off on V. Or I'm sorry, I tried to put the acting off on V. I said, you're better at voices, you're better at acting. You do the dialogue, and I'll do the narration. And he said no. And I said, okay. So we are going to do...
I've learned that I'm actually not very good at acting. Do you remember... I don't know if you remember when I was in college, I did this... I was doing like a ton of directing, and when I was doing my multi-camera video production class, I was asked to play this character in somebody's film. It was the Russian cosmonaut, is what it's called, the cosmonaut. And so I had to play this Russian character, Mikhail Komarov. And so I learned to speak with Russian accent, and I learned all these lines, and I had to do this like scene that was like extremely dramatic. Like at the end, I was supposed to like cry. And, like, I sucked. Like, I was horrible. Like, I couldn't cry on command or anything. I just was like, when I saw it, I was like, this is terrible. They should have never picked me. Like, I was so embarrassed because I was terrible at it. But it was that moment that I realized I can be funny, like when it's not, like, on the spot or anything. But, like acting, I'm not good at acting, apparently. But I can read funny. Like, if I'm reading, I can read it in a funny way. So I think you got the acting better too. I think you.
I always think back to our time when we were filming those shorts or whatever for YouTube.
Oh yeah.
OG YouTube, and I was just like, I think back at some of my scenes and how terrible they were, and how terrible I was at acting, rather, and how like if you watch them now, they're very like cringeworthy. I'm like, man, I wish I was better at acting back then, but. I'll do my best, and I'm not going to let you down, Andrew. So, V, do you have your thing pulled up?
I do. I'm ready to get started. I'm ready to get started if you are.
All right.
Yeah, I have my wiener pulled out.
I'm going to go ahead, and you guys don't have to watch your screen or anything because I'm not going to have it set on our faces. It's just going to be a picture of the cover of the book. But whenever you're ready, V.
Okay, all right. And this will be a reading of Not Pounded by Anything While I Practice Responsible Social Distancing by Chuck Tingle. So far, my life has had a way of staying pretty much the same regardless of what kind of massive upheaval or political turmoil comes rumbling down the path of history. I've been through plenty of different eras, and while the styles tend to change, there's always a thread of familiarity running through the whole thing. You notice I'm kind of doing a voice here.
I appreciate
as much as I think the world As much as I think the world is about to fundamentally alter course, it never really seems to get that far off track. Until now. It started as a few news stories here and there, reports coming in of strange and terrifying trotting plague. Honestly, I didn't pay much attention at first because I wasn't even sure what those talking heads on the news meant when they were uttering these words strange and seemingly disconnected. My bad. Trotting is a form of movement, similar to dancing, that gets folks from place to place with their head held high, similar to the confident strut of a pony. How could anything resembling this wonderful maneuver be considered a plague? The news stories didn't stop, however, and eventually I saw a video of someone suffering from the bizarre disorder with my own eyes. There they were, broadcast across the entire world in all of their playful trotting glory. This short clip depicted a man on the street, his knees kicking high, his hands held out in a perfect trotting position. He's moving in wide circles, randomly swooping out of the loop sometimes, but always returning to his chosen path.
What are you doing?
The person behind the camera calls out to the man, a deep confusion and concern in their voice.
Trotting.
The man calls back.
Can't stop trotting. Are you tired?
The voice behind the camera continues.
Pretty tired.
The man offers.
Just feels good to trot.
Soon enough, more and more videos of this strange disorder start to pour in, and while the disease has caused no injuries or fatalities, and the trots only last an hour or so, it appears... that just like dawned on me. The trots... That's like, remember we were saying that's like a term for diarrhea. So okay, I'm sorry.
The plots.
And the trots only last an hour. The trots only last an hour or so. It appears to be quite contagious. On the surface, it seems vaguely harmless, but nobody is interested in finding out what happens to these playful trotters in the long term. To be honest, this whole thing has hit me pretty hard. If there's one thing I love to do, it's trot around cutely, and the way this illness has transformed and distorted an activity that I love this much has personally been devastating. I wanted my trots to be on my own terms, not because some bizarre disease compels me to do it. Like I said, life has changed.
Did you get enough food to last you if the government quarantines everyone?
My friend Gromo asks as we sit in the middle of a nearby empty cafe. I nod, then take a long sip of my glass of chocolate milk.
Yeah, I'm all stocked up.
I reply.
Got in early. There's almost nothing in the stores now.
Gromo's eyes lit up in shock as I say this.
Really?
He questions.
You move fast. How did you know this was all going to go down?
I shrug.
Paid attention to the news and took things seriously, I guess.
I explain.
I just wanted to be prepared because I figured I should socially distance anyways. Socially distance?
Gromo continues.
What the hell do you mean? You're gonna stay inside even if the government doesn't tell you to?
I nod.
Seems like a safe thing to do. My job is allowing us to work remotely, and it's the best way to keep myself from risking exposure. I can still go out if I want to, like this coffee shop, but I don't want to be around large groups of people for a little while. Even this coffee meeting might be too much. We'll see. I'm not perfect.
Gromo glances around, noticing how empty this place is. There's only a handful of other customers, and they're all sitting incredibly far apart from one another.
Oh, wow!
So, I'm sorry. He finally offers.
I didn't really notice how few people were here right now. It's wild, huh?
You really turned up the game.
I was trying to get you to laugh.
Suddenly, wait, no, where are we at?
I continue.
Oh yeah, I continue, then nod affectionately.
If they're not here, that means they're probably self-quarantining. Social distancing is an important tool for fighting this thing, or at least making the cases spread out over time so the healthcare system isn't hit with patients all at once.
Suddenly, my friend is struck by a wave of alarm.
Wait a minute! Why the hell are we here? Aren't we gonna start trotting?
I consider his words. Honestly, maybe he's right. But I'm no expert. I try and remain calm.
We probably won't start trotting from this, but it is important to be safe and aware. I'm certainly not going to touch my face until I've washed my hands, and if I start feeling any trots coming on, then I'll immediately self-quarantine to stay away from other people. I guess it's case by case. I decided to meet with a single friend at an empty coffee shop, but I'm also not going to be attending the yearly hug party that my grandparents are throwing tomorrow. It all depends.
Party. I think that's a thing. My friend considers this for a long while, then stands up.
Well, if I don't see you for a bit, I'm glad we got to grab one last cup of coffee. I'm going to head back.
I smile and stand with him.
Likewise, Bill.
Gromo reaches out to shake my hand, but I don't put mine out to greet him. Instead, I offer an elbow, which he notices, then quickly shifts gears. We knock elbows proudly. We knock elbows proudly. I head out of the coffee shop and arrive at my car, climbing in and starting it up. One of my favorite songs is playing on the radio, and the sweet sound of its glorious, soaring vocals immediately cause a smile across my face. With all this craziness in the world, I've started to appreciate the simple pleasures a lot more. I pull out onto the road and find that almost all the traffic I'd expected at this hour has completely vanished. It's smooth sailing all the way, which I love, but it also makes me consider my opinion on a few things. As I explained to Gromo just moments earlier, my definition of social distancing has meant not going to large gatherings. Apparently, however, there are people out there taking things a lot further.
Do I really need to avoid contact with everyone?
I say out loud to myself.
I was only going to skip the spit contest and the hug party.
The thing is, I wouldn't be that hard to spend 2 weeks inside my apartment, regardless of a government-mandated lockdown. Other people might not have a choice in the matter, required to leave for work or something similarly important. But I'm in the fortunate position to make this decision for myself. Maybe I should use this privilege for the greater good.
I'll make it a game.
I state proudly, suddenly alarmed by the way this whole situation has caused me to start having conversations with myself. Maybe it's my mind preparing talking to himself. Maybe it's my mind preparing for the 2 weeks to come. I decided right then and there, for as long as this crisis is going on, I'll practice extreme social distancing. No more coffee shop trips, no more anything. I take a deep breath and let it out, suddenly looking forward to the challenge of it all. Maybe I'll watch a few seasons of my favorite TV show, or find a new one to enjoy that I've been meaning to check out but hadn't found the time. Maybe I'd read all those tinglers from the world's greatest author, Chuck Tingle. That's fucking him. That's fucking faggot. Fucking shameless self-promotion. Maybe I'll read all those tinglers from that world's greatest author, Chuck Tingle, that I downloaded but still hadn't cracked open. Eventually, I find myself pulling into the garage of my apartment building. I park and get out, a new spring in my step as I grow more and more excited for the self-imposed challenge. Sure, it's going to be a difficult turning down social engagements, but everyone else seems to be doing it, so I'm sure they'll understand. The second I get inside, I head to my bathroom and give my hands a deep, vigorous wash under the hot water with some antibacterial soap. Next, I head over to my calendar, which hangs on the wall of my entryway, to get a real look at what I'll be missing out this week. I grab a pen from the nearby table, crossing off things, just to make them official.
Cancelled. Postponed. Cancelled.
I say, slashing out a few spaces for events that I've already been taking care of, whether I go or not. I have a problem drawing a line through the aforementioned hug party and spit contest and make a mental note to call and give my apologies. The spit
Oh, spit in my mouth.
The next events give me a pause, however. I'd completely forgotten about these dates, 3 dates I had lined up this week, falling on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I take a deep breath and then let out, remembering commitment to social distancing. Sure, I was excited, but I'm sure they'll understand if we push back things 2 weeks. Suddenly, my phone starts to buzz. I glance down and realize 2 things in unison. First, today happens to be Friday, which means my scheduled lunch was supposed to occur now. Second, someone downstairs is ringing the bell, hoping to be let in. Instead of pressing a button on my phone to open the gate, I dash through my apartment, throwing open the screen door and stepping onto my second-story balcony. I look down to see my date, Crimble, waiting patiently with a flower in his hand. The muscular T-Rex is dressed handsomely in dark, well-cut suit, the black fabric making the color of his light. Is a T-Rex like a type of gay person? Like a bear or something?
I don't know. And from what I read, I didn't read this. I tried to, I limited my recognition of, what goes on in this story to just the dialogue. I was trying not to read it as much as I could, just so I could be just as surprised as everybody. But, I don't know, maybe. Like a bear, okay. You mean? Like a bear?
Yeah, that's what I was
like, cub or whatever.
T-Rex. Suddenly, I feel a powerful trot pulse through my body. I have no idea if this involuntary movement from my excitement at seeing Kimball or a warning sign that the trotting plague might have found its way into my system. But the symptom is there. What had started as a choice to self-quarantine has now transformed into absolute necessity. Sure, this little bounce of joy is likely a complete coincidence, especially since I'm prone to trotting in excited circumstances, but I'm happy to follow the model of better safe than sorry.
Hey.
I call out to the handsome dinosaur below, catching his attention and drawing it upward. Crimble smiles when he sees me, waving and nodding.
Hey up there! I just buzzed you on the door. You ready to roll? Yeah, about that.
I began, not exactly sure how to break the news.
I know we were going to pound each other tonight, but right now I can't be pounded. I'm socially distancing. Socially what?
The dinosaur questions, confused.
Socially distancing. I'm staying in for a few weeks. Most people are just avoiding major events to stop the potential spread of the trotting plague, but I just trotted a little bit, and now I think it's best for me to postpone the bone.
A look of concern washes over my date's face.
You trotted? Are you okay?
I nod.
Yeah, I bounced a little bit, but it was definitely a trot. Not sure if I was just excited to see you or if it's something more. But right now, I should probably stay inside for 2 weeks. Got all the supplies I could want. Well, if you need anything else, call me.
The handsome T-Rex offers. I nod, thankful for his understanding.
I will. I'm really sorry. I should have messaged you sooner. It's all good.
Crimble replies.
Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in a few weeks.
With that, the dinosaur turns and heads back toward his car. The second that Crimble leaves, a wave of relief washed over me. I'd been a little worried about canceling last minute, but he was incredibly understanding of the situation. Of course, Crimble is a kind dinosaur, and I think it is really supposed to be a dinosaur. Of course, Crimble is a kind dinosaur, and I figured he would take things in stride. But having that whole situation out of the way is a huge relief. It's such a relief, in fact, that I find myself incredibly exhausted. I collapse down onto my couch nearby, laughing to myself and considering how much time I'm about to spend here. I close my eyes and take a deep breath, then let it out slowly. The anxiety that has been building up within my body seems to flow out along with the air, putting me at ease as I float into a haze of relaxation. When my eyes open again, I realize the shadows streaming across my whole apartment have changed, shifted vastly in their angles. I must have been asleep for hours. Suddenly, my phone buzzes and I glance down at it. Someone is at the door again. I stand and creep back over to the deck, gazing down to find my next dates waiting for me. Hanging out below are 2 gorgeous big feet Oh, he's using the plural big feet
Yeah, which is wrong.
instead,
Yeah.
which is Bigfoot. Yeah, hanging out below are two gorgeous big feet, Mario and Amber.
Hey!
I call down. The couple glances up, waving when they spot me.
Now, so this is tricky because I have two different voices I want to use, but for this, I'm just going to go ahead and use the male Bigfoot, right?
Oh, all right.
We're here.
They call out.
Aren't you a day early?
I question.
It's Saturday.
It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Amber replies. I suddenly realized that what I had assumed was a brief nap was actually an entire day's worth of sleep. It was my intention to call the big feet and reschedule our date, but I slept through the whole damn thing. Now I'm stuck here in exactly the same position I was yesterday, forced to break the bad news to them.
I'm really sorry.
I begin apologetically.
I'm practicing social distancing right now. Oh, okay. We understand.
Amber.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Continue.
We understand. We're doing the same thing. Canceled all our big events and stuff. But we figured just the three of us would be fine.
You sound like Mickey Mouse.
It might be.
I offer.
But I had a small trot yesterday, and I think I should probably fully self-quarantine for a while.
Like before, I'm incredibly nervous about their reaction to this news. I really should have called ahead to make this cancellation a little less disappointing. But this is the situation I've found myself in, and now it's my job to deal with it. My heart is slamming hard within my chest, anxiety for their reply. The Bigfoot couple exchanges glances, then gazes back up at me with warm smiles.
That's totally fine. We're all in this together. Thanks for doing the responsible thing and staying home when you're sick.
Mario offers.
Don't worry at all.
Their kindness means the world to me, and I can't help but be pleased. I can't help the pleased grin that works its way across my face.
Thank you.
I offer.
Once this has died down, we'll have a wonderful date night. Looking forward to it.
Amber calls up.
Feel better. Let us know if you need anything.
I wave goodbye as the big feet turn to leave. Their kindness and understanding was above and beyond, and I feel thankful to know such an understanding couple of Sasquatches. As my gaze lingers, however, I see yet another group passing them by in the opposite direction. I gasp when I notice who it is, recognizing the enormous crew immediately. The swarming mass of unicorns approaching my building are none other than the Lobsters, one of my favorite teams in the Unicorn Baseball League, as well as my dates for tomorrow. What the fuck? He's banging a baseball.
You're a day early.
I yell out.
Sorry about that.
The team calls up to me from the street below, their voices erupting forth in a strange wash of a crowd.
Did we say Sunday? I thought we said Saturday. I thought we said Sunday.
I call down, then open my phone to check our text messages. I read them over quickly, then realize my mistake. My date with the Lobster baseball team was today, and apparently I double booked myself with Mario and Amber. Fortunately, this isn't a mistake that's likely to cause problem, because I'm not going out either way.
You're right. It was today.
I yell down to them.
My bad. I should have called to cancel. I can't go out tonight because I'm practicing social distancing. No crowds.
The team of unicorn baseball players all begin to chatter amongst themselves, the soft hums of conversation rising up to my position on the balcony. Moments later, they quiet down.
We understand.
The crowd yells up to me in unison.
It's difficult to date with a team this large anyways. And now that people are avoiding crowds, I think we'll see plenty of cancellations. I'm sorry.
I retort.
That sucks. Have you considered dating separately?
The team chatters among themselves a bit more, coming to a decision on the matter.
That's probably a good idea.
They finally shout back.
I mean, you shouldn't be in a large crowd right now anyways.
I remind them.
I know it's hard to separate when you're such a close-knit group, but sometimes it's worth the effort. It might be a lot safer if you all took a break from doing everything together. You're right.
The team replies in unison.
Thanks, Bill.
It takes a minute, but soon enough the crowd below my deck begins to disperse, heading off in their separate directions after some heartfelt goodbyes. Once most of the unicorns have disappeared, I head back inside, feeling a little broken-hearted about the whole thing. I understand that canceling these social engagements is an important part of staying healthy at the moment, but that doesn't mean I won't get lonely this evening, as I think about all the wonderful dates that would have been going on. If only I could go out on a date with myself. Suddenly, the idea hits me like a lightning bolt. I can go on a date with myself, and that's exactly what I intend to do. Immediately, I sprang into action, searching through my cabinets for food as I prepare myself for an ambitious task ahead. I'm typically not much of a cook, but tonight that doesn't matter. Tonight I'm going to use this self-quarantine as an excuse to flex my creative muscles, a reason to do something that I typically wouldn't even begin to attempt. Once I've gathered a few supplies, I hop online and start searching for recipes to make good use of the items at my disposal. I quickly discover a delicious-looking lasagna that will take some time and push my limits, then dive in. Normally, this kind of thing would be incredibly overwhelming. The long, drawn-out process of crafting a meal causing me all kinds of anxiety. It's difficult for me to focus on things that require this kind of patience, my mind always floating back to some other activity that I should be taking care of. Now, however, this social distancing has allowed me a moment to relax and enjoy the natural process of crafting a meal from scratch. For once, there's no part of me that's crying to simply give up and head out to a restaurant for the exact same thing. I put on some music and, soon enough, the process begins to flow, the oven heating up as I take on the task step by step. At the same time, I begin to set the mood with a few candles on my dining room table, pulling out all the stops. If this is going to be a date with myself, I might as well show myself a good time. I pull out all the stops, even cracking open a bottle of finely aged chocolate milk from the 80s that I somehow managed to get my hands on and was saving for a special occasion. Eventually, the meal is completed, and I find myself sitting alone at my table, a beautiful plate of steaming, gooey lasagna sitting before me. I smile as I cut into it, breaking off a selection with my fork, and then lifting it up to my mouth slowly. I take a huge bite, the bountiful flavor hitting my taste buds immediately. The sensation is incredible, and I chew slow just to savor every moment of this wonderful meal. I am much better at cooking than I thought. It suddenly hits me that I might actually be better than I had thought at plenty of things. Well, it's a little frustrating to cancel all of these social obligations, and I've lost my spot, and refrain from making new ones. There's still plenty of things to learn, practice, and enjoy. I'm gonna be fine, I realize. This is gonna be a very productive week. I'm waiting at the restaurant in a way that I typically don't. It's not a physical manner. Okay, this is like a break. I guess the break is supposed to show that time has passed, right?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. I'm waiting at the restaurant in a way that I typically don't. It's not the physical manner in which I've positioned myself on this chair. It's the mental clarity that I now possess. Typically, I'd be checking my phone in a situation like this, trying to occupy my mind while I waited for my date to arrive. But now I am happy to simply enjoy the sights and sounds around me. The place is buzzing with excitement, and with good reason. It's been about a week now since everyone came out of hiding, and with things haven't entirely returned to normal, there's still a sense of calm in the air. My time in self-quarantine was difficult at first, but I got about just as much done as I expected. I read every book on my list and enjoyed a few television shows that my friends have been recommending for ages. Thanks to my phone and computer, it also wasn't nearly as mentally isolating as I thought it might be. I still chatted with my loved ones and spent plenty of time catching up with the folks who I'd otherwise been running into face to face. I also didn't get sick. Strangely, the whole thing ended up making me reach out to even more people, more than I normally would, texting friends just to catch up as we passed the time together. More importantly, though, the experience allowed me to enjoy the wait and the patience that used to be a part of almost everything we do. I'm happy to just sit here now, appreciate nothing more than the hum of voices around me. I suddenly spot Crimble entering from the doors of the restaurant. We lock eyes and he waves excitedly, clearly happy to see me. I stand up and meet him halfway, embracing him warmly. It's nice to feel the dinosaur scale. So it is a dinosaur. It's nice to feel the dinosaur scale against my skin, and despite his literal cold blood, I can immediately feel a powerful emotional warmth between the two of us.
It's so good to see you.
I gush, then motion towards our table.
Come, sit down.
Crimble follows my lead, and soon enough the two of us are sitting across from one another, smiling wide.
I can't believe we're finally on our date.
I offer.
I can.
The handsome dinosaur retorts knowingly.
We knew it wasn't going to last forever. Sure, it was difficult sometimes, but for the most part, I just got to do some work I've been meaning to get around to. Also, my house is spotless. I know.
I blurt.
That deep clean was priceless.
The two of us start laughing for a moment. When suddenly our attention is caught by two other figures approaching.
You're here!
I cry out excitedly, standing up to greet the rest of our party. Mario and Amber, the gorgeous Bigfoot couple, wrap their arms around me. They make their way over to Crimble in turn.
It's been a while,
Mario offers. The two Sasquatches take seats of their own, joining in to create an even larger group date.
We were just discussing what we did during the lockdown.
I inform them.
Mostly cleaning and reading. What about you?
Mario grins.
I learned how to speak 3 new languages. And I learned magic.
Amber chimes in. The beautiful Bigfoot reaches out her arm and waves her hand in the air for a moment, then suddenly snaps her wrist to make a deck of cards appear. The whole table gasps in astonishment, impressed with her sleight of hand maneuver.
Pick a card,
Amber demands, spreading out the deck and pushing it towards me. I take my pick, showing it to the rest of the table, and then putting it back into the deck.
5 of
That's
spades.
That's to say, that's you, dummy. Amber says. The table gasps again, and I laugh, nodding. It's incredible sitting here right now, feeling the warmth of this gathering after making such tough choices just a little over a month ago. At the time, I felt like I might never see these people again, and now here we are, picking up right where we left off. I suddenly noticed something from the corner of my eye.
There they are.
I announced, taking note of the entire handsome unicorn baseball team that has crammed themselves into the restaurant entryway. I waved them over, excited for the company.
We did it.
The end.
We survived.
We did it. We made it through. It was like 10 pages.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
No.
So you're welcome, Andrew. We did your dramatic. Was it everything that you hoped it would be and more? No. Yeah, I hadn't read. Like I said, I had just done the dialogue so that I could highlight pieces of dialogue, and then that way it would be easier for us to read and know where we were and shit. But yeah, was it everything that you had hoped and dreamed it would be, V?
I was like, it was funny how I don't know, like from a writer's standpoint, it's dumb as fuck. It's so dumb. There's literally the story is like exactly what the title tells you, and it's so funny because like the title, like I guess that's what's funny about it is like the story is literally the title. Like you didn't even need to say the title, or you didn't even need to read the story. The title sums up the entire story. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that it's like somebody tells you the whole story and you're like, you could have just said that you didn't get pounded because you're socialist instead of telling me that whole rigmarole about how it went down.
That's burying the lead, right? This is like the opposite of burying the lead in a story. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in a news story. For anyone who doesn't know what that means, like burying the lead is something that the news journalists do, where they'll kind of give you a little bit about, like something to, they give you the thing to draw you in the headline, and then they kind of wait for several sentences, maybe a paragraph down in the story. That way you have to read quite a bit of it before you get to it. It's called burying the lead. This is like the total opposite of that. It's like leaving the lead on top of
Yeah. It's like when the news they go the thing that you're eating could kill you. More at 11.
Well, I don't need to watch. Yeah, like no, even more so. It's like that those mangoes that you're eating could kill you. More at 11. You know, and you're like, well, then I just won't eat mangoes. You know,
that's funny. Mangoes. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, but I have a feeling that a lot of those. I have 3 of his other stories, the ones that he offered for free. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say if you guys want us to read them, because that's like the last fucking thing that I would want in this world. But
yeah.
You know,
well, we'll do it. You know, it's funny because if you guys tell us to do something, we're gonna do it because we're what do they say? I'm at the whims of my constituents.
We're at the mercy of our viewers, Yeah. So, and we definitely appreciate you guys coming in. Did you want to talk about more shit today, V? I know there was we kind of rushed off of the duologue to get to the meat and potatoes, to the meat and the pounding potatoes of today's episode. But did you have anything more that you wanted to add to today? Or do you just want to pack it in early?
Pound it in.
Pound it in early. Shit. Yeah, I want to slam it in early, too.
It's like that phrase whenever somebody is like, I got to go pack my shit. And then you go, you need someone to help you pack your shit.
I always do that. Anytime someone makes a joke or makes a comment that sounds like it could be a gay innuendo, I'm always like, I bet you do, you dirty bird. And then that's my thing every single time. So yeah, I got to go pack my shit. I
always just smile real big because they know what's coming. You know, like you know when somebody they go, yeah, he totally blew me off, and then or the I totally rubbed off on me. Remember that one?
You want to blow this off, Sanchez? Sanchez, you don't blow this off, Sanchez.
You can't be assy.
You know, as I was preparing for the episode tonight, I was going to play music in the background, but then I decided against it because I would have had to have recorded a new thing. I didn't have any good music to play in the background quietly, so I went looking for music, and I went looking for
Wait, did we have music playing in the background quietly?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But this is what I'm saying. Let me finish my sentence. I didn't find anything, but I did look for the Monster Mash instrumental. Like I was looking for instrumentals of, famous Halloween songs. And I looked up Monster Mash because I like Monster Mash. It's a good song. But it reminded me that I saw somebody had posted maybe like a month ago or whatever, like as Halloween season kicked off. They had said the Monster Mash isn't even the original song. Right, like when what we hear is a song about the Monster Mash.
That's what they did, the Monster Mash.
So technically, we don't even know what the Monster Mash sounds like.
That's an interesting point. I never thought of that.
And it reminded me of because I thought that's silly, but then I thought about it and I thought Tenacious D did the same thing. Remember when they did the tribute?
The same thing, yeah. It's not actually the song; it's about the song that they did to the devil, right? The tribute to the greatest song. It's not actually the song.
This is not the greatest song in the world.
Like the long ass fucking time ago in a town called Kickapoo. That one. That's my favorite.
That is a good song. Yeah. The boys used to watch. This is a few years ago now, but that was their thing. They would watch Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny every day. Like every day, I had to watch Pick of Destiny.
Such a great.
They'd call him JB anytime they see Jack Black in a movie because we'd watched we'd watched Goosebumps and there was some other movie he was in, The Clock on the Wall.
Is that good? I've been meaning to watch that.
I mean, it's a kids movie. I mean, it was
fun. But it was fun. Yeah, I like kids movies. It's got Cate Blanchett in it. I really like her too, man. She's Hera. Hella. She's Hella. She's great as Hella. I like her. I like Charlize Theron right now too, actually. Charlize Theron.
Remember I brought her up that one day when we were talking about female actors who were actually okay, and I said Charlize Theron, and
we had to retract our statement because of that. Yeah, because of her.
Because she's a
we were like female actors. Yeah, we were like female actors suck, and then we were like, hang on a second, like Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I mean she's like the Christian Bale of female actors because she'll like gain weight, lose weight, just like it's nothing, right?
Yeah,
And
Mormon Bale.
yeah, Muslim Bale, Jewish Bale, Mormon Bale. But no, she. You know who else I really like, and I think I said it on that day was Christina Ricci. Now she's not like,
Oh yeah, man.
she's kind of a like she's like a niche actress, right? Like you don't really see her in anything other than horror.
She's the first Wednesday, dude. Well,
I know.
she was.
Well, she was the movie Wednesday. But yeah, she was really. I really liked her, and this is funny because my kids pick on me for. I always like, not always, but there are often films or whatever that we watch, and they ask who's your favorite on this particular show or on this particular movie, and in the Addams Family, I'm like Wednesday. Wednesday is my favorite. She always has been since I was a kid because I was Wednesday's age when those movies came out. And
right.
so and I had this huge crush on Christina Ricci because she was in Casper, right? I mean, she was everybody's.
She's still really hot. She's really hot now. Like she's got blonde hair. She looks really good. In fact, you know what? She's Trixie on Speed Racer, and she looks that's my favorite of her because she looks super hot in that one. In Speed Racer, I love her hair, and she's got this like red lipstick. Trixie, Speed Racer.
Is that the one with Emil Hirsch as Speed
Racer?
Emil.
Yeah.
Who's Racer X?
It's great movie. It's oh, hang on. What is Racer X's name? I'll look it up. Matthew Fox. John Goodman is in it too. Actually, he plays the dad. It was great. Everybody loves John Goodman.
I know. It's like I've never met somebody who's like, yeah, John Goodman, he's not for me. No, thank you. Like everything that he's in, I'm always like, I get a chuckle out of. Even just when you said John Goodman, I immediately pictured him and had a laugh because I'm like, yeah, all right, I can see that. But yeah, I watched this movie called Afterlife on Hulu. I think I've had it for years. I just never watched it.
Sounds familiar.
It's the one where she dies in a car accident because Justin Long's in it too, and Liam Neeson.
Oh, I like Justin Long. Yeah, I like both those people.
It's like a great the cast in that movie is perfect. It's Christina Ricci and Justin Long as her boyfriend, and then Liam Neeson is the funeral director / mortician, whatever. And but yeah, she dies, and then like Liam Neeson has this gift where he can talk to the dead while he's preparing them for the funeral, and so he carries on this whole several day event with her where he's like talking to her, explaining to her you're dead, and like she doesn't believe it, and he has to try to convince her. I mean, it's like the whole movie is actually pretty cool. But yeah, she's in it and she's naked.
I'll have to watch it. That sounds pretty good. You say she's naked in it?
Movie. Yeah, for the whole movie she's naked.
Like you see like cans.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You get to see her can. Okay,
like
now
most of the time. Yeah, like because she's dead on the table. And she's just naked.
So so it's dead cans. So since we're on the subject of hot girls in movies, what would you say now? Okay, we're gonna make this a broad question. Throughout all of like
broads?
We'll say
question about dames?
question about broads. Throughout all of history, like we'll say, all of the movies that you've seen. Now we can go, and it doesn't have to be now, like what she looks like now. You can be like the chick that was in this movie, she looked the best then. Like I was saying, when Christina Ricci is as Trixie in Speed Racer, she was like, I loved her in that just because to me that was like the hottest that she's been. What would you say? Who would you pick like top of the list? Actually, see if you can do a couple. Who would you say like?
So I'm gonna think out loud, and I'm gonna think of the chicks that I either masturbated to
right
before porn, because a lot of people don't realize this, but like porn wasn't as easily accessible as it is now. So back when you and I were kids, it was pretty difficult to get online, and even like in person it was
no, there was no online when I first started backing off.
I would say the chicks that I beat off to the Pink Power Ranger in the original Power Rangers show.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah. Okay,
Christina Ricci in Casper, and then like everything else that she was in, with the exception of Monster, but she was designed to be hideous in that movie. And then what's her face from Titanic? Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet?
Yeah, I thought she was pretty hot in Titanic.
In Titanic, really?
I did.
I feel like she
did.
was chubby in
I
Titanic.
thought she looked classy and beautiful, and when she got naked, I was. This would have been 98, maybe. So I would have been in middle school. So that was kind of like, hey, I'll beat off to anything because my hormones are all kicking in. So that was one.
Yeah.
What's her face? Keira Knightley. I thought in again many things, but I would say in. I really liked her in The Jacket when she looked all trashy.
See that one.
That's an Adrian Brody movie. He's pretty good. I like that
Okay,
movie. It's really weird.
I got a triple threat for you in
All right,
one
let's hear
movie.
it. Let's hear it.
Jessica Alba, Brittany Murphy, and Rosario Dawson in Sin City.
Okay, let me think.
All three of them. Yeah, all three of them.
Rosario Dawson was. I think she was okay in that movie. But Jessica Alba, stunning. Yeah, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
And you said Rosario Dawson. I feel like I didn't think she was that hot in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was just the character. Brittany Murphy, Brittany? She was the one that hooked up with Red Shoes, and then Benicio del Toro comes and fucks with them, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She had the red lipstick and the blonde hair.
Yeah. All right, I can agree with that. I'd have to look at Rosario Dawson again. I'd have to look because she's one of the whores, right? The whores.
Yeah, she's the head whore. Okay, what about we're talking about Brittany Murphy that made me do the 7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon with someone else. I thought Alicia Silverstone
in The Black Girl that's now a conservative.
Yeah, I love her. What is her name? It escapes me.
Something Fox, isn't it? Fox? No, it's not Megan Fox. That's a different. I don't remember. I know who you're talking about, though.
She has a unique name. It's she's still really hot too.
Oh, she is. Yeah. Alicia Silverstone, I think she lost it now, and I mean, obviously, Brittany Murphy has probably lost it, but Homegirl still is pretty hot. But yeah,
Stacey Dash.
There you go. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking Fox.
She is really hot still. Like, man, she looks great.
They were all really, really pretty. And again, it wasn't until Brittany Murphy got cleaned up, because remember at the beginning of the movie, she was kind of a train wreck, and then
she wasn't even really attractive in Clueless. Brittany Murphy, to me, didn't hit her stride until she started doing those movies with Dakota Fanning, and then she was in Sin City. Right before she kicked it, sadly, right before she died, she was looking really good. I guess that's what happens. Although, to be fair, she didn't look very good in Spun. Did you see Spun with oh man, watch that movie. It's fucking bugged out. What is that dude? It's Mickey Rourke, Brittany Murphy, and then the main character is I can't remember it. It's about tweakers. It's actually probably the best depiction of tweakers ever, and it's great too. It's a really good movie, to be honest. If you get a chance to watch that, Spun, I highly recommend it. Watching that, she looks okay in it, but she plays a tweaker, so they made her look gross, right? But I'm gonna say top tier right now too. My favorite right now is always going to be ScarJo. She's if I'll watch anything that Scarlett Johansson is in, if she's wearing something skin tight, like Ghost in the Shell or any of the Avengers movies, I'm going to watch Black Widow. I don't care for female leads in movies, but I'll watch Black Widow. I love watching her prance around in skin tight clothing. She's she's basically has the porn star body. In fact, somebody said, I forget what director it was, they told her she's like the personification of every man's fantasy. That's what she is, which apparently she doesn't like to be. She doesn't like to be objectified, but she's
she picked the wrong profession then.
Yeah, she's picked the wrong. But I think she's amazing. Man, Ghost in the Shell, she's literally skin tight suit.
Who was in Aeon Flux? Who was Aeon Flux? The movie.
Oh, that's that is, what is her name? What is her name? It's the same girl. Oh man, I can't think of it now. I know who you're talking about. I can picture it on the cover. Somebody that's still pretty recent. I want to say. Oh, that's Charlize Theron, dude.
Is it?
Yeah, that is
Oh,
Charlize
well, then,
Theron.
there
That
we
was
go.
early Charlize, huh?
Well, she's been around
Yeah.
since The Astronaut's Wife. Remember her with Johnny? She was with Johnny in Astronaut's Wife.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
It's a pretty good
Did you
movie.
see?
I liked it.
Did you watch Rock and Rolla with Guy
Oh
Ritchie's?
yeah.
One of
Oh,
his.
there you go, Zoe Saldana, dude. We totally. And I think I
No,
mentioned her last time, didn't I?
no,
Zoe
that's
Saldana, dude.
she's not in Rock and
Yes,
Rolla.
she sure is. She's
No,
the
it's
chick
that's
that
Sandy.
gets with Gerard Butt Cheeks and
That's
gives
Sandy.
them. Who?
Her name is Sandy Newton. Is her name?
No.
She's
that
in
can't be
she's in
right.
Westworld. She's great though. That's what I was gonna say is Sandy Newton in Rock and Roller. She's really hot in that. She's like light-skinned black girl. And if you ever get a chance to watch Westworld, dude, she is amazing in Westworld. That's my favorite. Her and Anthony Hopkins' character in Westworld, hands down, my favorite characters in that show. Sandy Newton is her name, by the way.
Huh.
She's in some other stuff too. Yeah, Sandy Newton.
I was just looking up Zoe Saldana because I was going to argue with you, and we were going to have the conversation about who's the hottest chick in the Marvel series, right? In the Marvel.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
And then you jumped ahead of me with
Arjo.
ScarJo. Yeah, and you can't really.
But if I
compete
can't,
with that.
if we're taking her off the table, though, give me a like. Are we taking her off the table? Is you saying like, yeah,
Let's
obviously
take her off because that's a little unfair.
in the Marvel? Let's see. Like it doesn't have to be a superhero, right? Because
No,
I think there's not.
because Natalie Portman is in that, and she's pretty good. She's
She's
kind
technically
of pretty.
a superhero now.
What does she know?
You know who I like? She's the new Thor, dude. She's gonna be the new Thor.
That's pretty.
Didn't you know that Thor? Yeah, she's taking over for Thor. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, how about let's see. I'm going through all of the Marvel movies like in order in my head now. Let's see. You've got Captain America, right? Then Iron Man. Right. I hate Gwyneth Paltrow. I've never liked her.
Yeah, she's a weird looking chick.
Then Thor was Natalie Portman and the other girl who I didn't care. I like her personality in that one, but I don't care for her looks. We're so like it's so funny that we're just totally objectifying women. Like
Well, that's
this is
what
why I
we do.
live for this kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
What about
Then Avengers, right? And
is the Scarlet Witch? Is that the chick that was she was Kick-Ass's brother?
Yeah,
in the
Scarlet Witch.
movies?
what is her name though?
Yeah, I think it's Scarlet
The
Witch.
actress.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
No, the actress. That's not her real name. That's actually. I'm looking forward to that. The WandaVision show. I might actually get Disney Plus just for WandaVision. I like the idea of it all. I may have Doctor Strange, but that was what is the girl that was in Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah, I thought that was also a repeat or something of somebody.
She's her name is on the tip of my tongue. She's in the Sherlock Holmes. Something Mick something. Rachel McAdams. is her
Oh
name.
yeah, she's stunning.
She's
She's a
pretty
beautiful
good.
woman.
She's in the Doctor Strange.
What do you think
pretty-
of Lindsay Lohan? Remember, like I can't personally, I
Are you
can't
talking
stand
about
Lindsay
in War
Lohan.
Inc? Is it War Inc? No, not War
No,
Inc.
you're
Lords
thinking
of War.
in War Inc. That was the Mickey Mouse Club girl.
What's the one with fucking Cusack, John Cusack? Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, War Inc. I know who you're talking about. She's from the
It's
Mickey
Hannah
Mouse Club.
Montana.
Lizzie McGuire.
Not,
No, that's a different
Lizzie
chick.
McGuire.
Yeah, it's
She looks
not-
good in
that's not
that.
her
Lizzie
real name.
McGuire. I'd pee in her butt, pump her buns.
Let's see what her name really is. Lizzie McGuire.
Well, see, here's the thing, and for my disclaimer, if there's any actual women listening, going, these men are pigs, and they're
Hillary
whatever.
Duff is her
Hillary
name.
Duff. Yeah, Hillary Duff. Lizzie McGuire, that's her character name. That's
Yeah.
the character. Hillary Duff. If for any woman watching or any person that is going, you guys are disgusting. Remember, movies, the whole concept of movies is we need to keep your eyes on the screen. So if you're watching a movie, you don't want your audience to look away, or you have specific things on screen or in a shot that you want them to pay attention to. And so that's actually best done with things that are most attractive or appealing, aesthetically pleasing to your eyes, so to speak. So that's why actresses and actors are very extremely Brad Pitt and ScarJo's that are so attractive that you can't take it. Even men, like I'm not gay, like no homo, but there are actors that I'll go see because I like. Man, that's my dude, like Gerard
That's a
Butler
handsome guy.
and
Gerard Butler.
yeah, that's a handsome. Yeah, exactly. And you go, I watch them in anything, and it's because they're symmetrical and they're aesthetically pleasing to your eyes. And so, no matter what, an actor is going to be objectified because they are an object on the screen, and that's why it will always be attractive actors and actresses that bring you to the movie theaters, whether you like it or not. What about Megan Fox? Did you like her in the Transformers movies?
I don't care much for Megan Fox. I don't. And they're like, I'm a big horror guy. I just watch horrors. Jennifer's Body, right, is a big movie in the horror community. Like it's like our most hotly contested, right? People talk about it all the time because they're like, oh, that's kind of like, I don't want to say it's the center, but it's like the one that lures a lot of people in to the horror genre. They come in because they're like, oh, Megan Fox. Oh, that was kind of a crazy movie. I wonder if all horror movies are that way. That's not true. But it's enough to rope people in. So, like, true original horror fans don't really care much for just Jennifer's Body. But we recognize the importance of Jennifer's Body because it brought, like, the mainstream back to horror films. And what's her face? Megan Fox. I've never found her particularly attractive. I mean, I get that she's kind of like what you just said about guys. Like, you can find a guy and say, oh, that's a handsome guy. I can sit here and say that Megan Fox is objectively attractive to most guys. She's got the body. She's got kind of the face that would just be classified as beautiful. But I just never had any kind of interest in her. Personally, she's not my type.
I don't who you made me think of by saying that, talking about horror films, and Jennifer. You know who I thought of right away when you said that? Jennifer Love, early whacking off age. Yeah. Jennifer Love Hewitt, dude. She had those gazoombas, and she like perfect face.
What about Sarah Michelle Gellar? She was like right alongside her in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, that's right. She was Buffy too for a long time. Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar, definitely. I would wax that ass. Still looks pretty good too.
Does she?
She's still, yeah. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Who was the chick? What about Catwoman from Dark Knight Rises? I think she's pretty.
That good. Is
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. I
think she's forever going to be pretty. I don't. Oh, you're right. You're right. I'll agree with that. She is a little skinny, skinny for my taste. But again, I think that she's got a really sexy face. I like her face. And
yeah, no, I agree with that. It's funny how like we just read something like really gay, and so we're asserting our like a male, like our alpha male by like talking about like objectifying women.
In her ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we got it. We've got to convince everybody that we're not gay because we just read a gay story about dinosaurs and unicorns. And I had to do I had to pull out all my gay voices, right?
Yeah, you totally did. I was surprised how well you did some of them too. No, what about okay, here's one. What about Winona Ryder in Beetlejuice?
You know what? She's like Winona Ryder still to me. I think Winona Ryder is still. Yeah. I think she's still got it. That's another one. Yeah, you're right. I think like as I think back, I think as a kid, I think I've discounted Tom Miller, childhood fantasies or whatever. I think I've discounted most of them because I'm like a couple of them I've looked back and been like, whoa, I was way off on that one, And so like Winona Ryder, I wrote her off. Go ahead.
Okay, here's a good one. You're gonna like this one. Personality like sucks. Like screw her personality, but her voice and her looks. Sarah Silverman, dude.
Yeah.
I love the way she looked. There's this show or movie that she did. It's called like I Am America or something.
Yeah.
And
I know. And
she looks super hot. Like wow, dude. I was like, the Norm Macdonald. His book. If you ever get a chance to read it,
Based on
It's
a true
really
story.
fun. Yeah, based on a true story. It's great. He talks a lot about her when he was on
Screwed.
no, not Screwed. Saturday Night Live. I guess she was on Saturday Night Live too. She was like a writer or
Yeah,
something.
that
Or
makes sense.
yeah.
I used to remember when we were deployed at the same time, the time we were both in Iraq. I used to have a picture of Sarah Silverman, and she was wearing like a gorilla costume because I found it in a Maxim magazine. I had that posted up on my wall locker for the whole 15 months we were there. I used to have a huge thing for Sarah Silverman, and then when she had the Sarah Silverman program, very funny show. But yeah, her opinions on politics.
Yeah, her show was fun.
Shit.
That's the one where she did blackface. Remember?
Yeah,
She did blackface on
she
that
used to
show.
be very, very funny because like that was.
Yeah, she
if
was
you
funny
listen
back
to
then.
her, she has one song called German Cars, I think is what it's called, but it was part of her Jesus is Magical special, I think. And but it's a song. It's extremely racist, but it's so funny. And I highly recommend watching it. But she. Yeah, her opinions now just don't mean anything to me because she went from like full on, hey, I'll say anything for a laugh to, oh, well, I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings. So, because like I remember one time she got, and this is right around the time that she shifted, she was talking about how to get out of jury duty. And she said, you don't have to be racist to get out of jury duty. She said, all you have to do is when they say, are you racist? You say, well, what do you mean? And they're like, well, do you have any like particular prejudices against any racial group? And you go, no, I love chinks. And then like that's all you have to say, and then they'll kick you out. And that way you don't sound racist necessarily, but you know, like your heart's in the right place, but you're an idiot. So she said that's the way to get out of jury duty, and you can do that with any race. You can be like, oh no, you know, I'm not going to say go through this.
For that joke recently, that like I saw this thing where they really slammed her for that joke, and they were like, well, how was that even funny? It was funny too. She was on this like liberal panel, and they were all like, well, how is that even funny? Like that's not a punchline. It was so funny, and she just was like embarrassed as fuck. But I thought of another one. Here's another one. And like this is kind of like I'm noticing a theme with women that I've liked throughout the years is I'm really attracted to goth girls, which I hate to admit it, but I'm probably like mildly goth myself. But I like Helen Bonham Carter.
Oh yeah.
Helen,
in Fight Club.
Yeah.
That was where like remember when I used to talk about how I was like super into trashy girls? That came from Fight Club. And Helena Bonham Carter.
Just like her. Yeah, but she's in a lot of other stuff where she looks great too. Like, well, okay, here's the thing: is that like my goal in life is to direct movies, right? Make movies. But I would like to like in terms of like relationship, like I want to do what Tim Burton did. Like he basically married Helen Bonham Carter and then just put her in all of his movies. Like that was like that's what I do is I want to find an actress and then just put her in all my movies. It's like the way to go.
It's a smart way to do it because then, you know, like you're paying her, but in reality, you're just kind of paying yourself because all that money is going to go to like shit around the house anyways. I'm looking at the chat here. Andrew, Andrew
I was surprised
says,
to see.
Duly noted, or I'm sorry, somebody said it. VS actually said Michael Pfeiffer, as if it's an Obama. Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns. Yeah, she was very good. And then speaking of Catwoman, I know you were like into that whole Halle Berry Monster Balls scene, seeing her get pounded. And then James is in the chat, believe it or not, and he says Samara Weaving, and then he says fight me, as if that's like an unpopular opinion. I think Samara Weaving is actually a great choice. She's in the movie The Babysitter that's on Netflix. I know you don't watch Netflix, but this is like some years ago. The Babysitter. It's like a horror movie, and then she's in the sequel as well. No. But she's also in Come Out or what the hell is it called? The hide and seek movie. There was like Ready or Not is what it's called. Ready or Not. Who's
the wife on the other guys? Who's the chick that's married to Will Ferrell on the other guys?
Not Eva Longoria.
No, I think it is Eva Longoria, isn't it?
It's not. I'm telling you, it's not her. Eva Longoria is a different chick.
Longoria's hot too, though.
Why am I struggling to remember her name? She's like, because she's in like Man on Fire. She's in like, she's always the hot Hispanic girl. Eva
Mendes.
Eva Mendes. There you go.
Eva Mendes.
Yeah, that's a winner all the time. I just watched Ghost Rider the other day. She was in that movie too.
Super hot.
Yeah,
she was in Ghost Rider, and that's the one where Nick Cage is wearing the toupee, dude.
Is it? Oh yeah,
He's
the
got
black hair. Because I even looked
on.
at the hair and I was like, he looks like Hugo from Smokin' Aces in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that all the hot chicks in Hollywood? Is that all?
No, there's so many more. I could go on for days, dude. I could go on for days of chicks that I've whacked. With you. Yeah.
Right.
You know who I actually like too? I remember now. We were talking about Marvel movies. I remember now one of the Marvel chicks that I like. What is her name? She plays Valkyrie. What is her?
Yeah, like she's not Filipino. She's some other race, some kind of Asian.
Yeah, it's like Haitian or
No, she's not dark enough to be Haitian.
Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I would agree. She's in something.
She's terrible. Don't watch the new Men in Black. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would say that she's pretty. You said Haitian as if she's like purple.
Yeah. She's Dominican.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a little bit closer, maybe. Yeah, she's a good-looking chick. Yeah, that's about it as far as. Have you ever seen a hot chick from Canada? Are there? I've never even been to Canada.
No, I've been to Canada.
No,
I don't know.
Like, are there any hot chick actresses from Canada? Because I mean, when I think of Canadian actors, I think of because there's like Jim Carrey, and then Justin Bieber. He's a musician from Canada.
Is it Ryan Reynolds Canadian?
Nickelback. He might be. He might be. But when's the last time you heard of like a chick, like an actress from Canada, and you were like, oh yeah, she's a total babe? Because even Samara Weaving, she's from Australia or New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. But you never hear them from.
It's like the Flight of the Conchords. They're from New Zealand.
I didn't know where New Zealand was for the longest time. It took like until that show came out and they were talking about New Zealand. I just assumed New Zealand was like up by England. I never knew. And then they were talking about
like near Greenland or something.
Yeah. I thought it was in that whole mess. And then that show came out and I finally looked it up and I was like, oh, that's why they're confusing them with the Australians, because it's like an Australian island is really all it is.
They have a similar accent. You can't go around stealing cushions. Remember that, Murray?
We parked the car. No, this is how they say it. They say you park the car. No, you park the car. You park the car. No, see, they say it like car. It's the same accent, basically. How would you like getting meted? You wouldn't like that very much, would you? Imagine if you were meted. Murray. Band meeting. All right, band meeting. Band meeting.
Band meeting.
Jermaine, Murray, president.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have to recommend that to everybody. Is like, if you ever get the chance, watch Flight of the Conchords. It's so funny. And like, I remember how it was pitched to me was one of my old LTs came and he had like changed and he was the headquarters LT for a while. Then he moved to a different platoon and I didn't see him that much. And then he came over one day. He's like, dude, you got to check this show out. And I was like, all right, what's it about? And he handed me the collection or whatever. And it was Flight of the Conchords, and I was like, yeah, all right, I'll check it out. I was like, what is it? And he's like, it's like a modern day musical. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. And then glad I did, because I did end up. And then right when we got back from that
not like a good description of it. So I wouldn't call it a musical at all.
I don't know why he put it on me like that, because he could have been like, it's a funny show, and I would have been like, okay. Yeah, but he was like, modern day musical. I'm still like, okay, because I really like. This is like a secret that I don't let a lot of people know, is I do like musicals. But, when he said modern day musical, of all things, he could have just been like, it's a funny show. Okay, all right, yeah, I'll check it out. Like a modern day musical. He took a gamble on that one. Oh, here we go. James said, a lot of hot singers are from Canada, but not many actresses. Avril Lavigne is a hot singer. She's dead, though. So we have a replacement. I like how she, brought sand to the beach. Like, she married the lead singer from Nickelback, remember? Like, who's also Canadian. Like, why would you not marry somebody? Who?
No, Mike in Manitoba was talking about the chick from Fifth Element and Resident Evil. That's Mia Jovovich.
Yeah,
Isn't she Russian or something?
Mia Jovovich.
Yeah, Jovovich. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a babe.
Yeah, that's it.
She's in that movie. There's like there's not many movies out there that I can't watch alone. The only movie that I cannot watch alone and be good with afterwards is The Fourth Kind. And she's in that movie. She's the main chick from that movie. But that movie messes me up every time. I'm always like, yeah, I can handle it. I'll just watch it during the day. No big deal. And then I'll watch it and I'll be like, nope, I can't be alone after this. I need to go to like do. I need to be in public or in somewhere. I need to get out of this house because it's too fucking weird. But yeah, that's a good movie. I highly recommend it to anybody who's not ever watched The Fourth Kind. Is that it, V?
Yeah.
Is that all we got?
That's all I get. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We had like a dead air for like 5 seconds. I was just sitting there like going, oh, that's it, man. That's all I got. I mean, it's either that or I keep rambling about movies and the chicks from films that I'd bang, you know. And I'll do that I could do that forever, dude.
You know,
we just keep going.
We went ahead and blew them off Sanchez last week by not giving them a show last Wednesday, and then we didn't even address it. Like, we didn't even send out a thing like, "Hey, sorry, we're not recording." Blah 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 blah. We just didn't do it. And then I told you, I was like, we'll just do 2 because of you, Halloween Bigfoot, and all that shit. And then so just so everybody's clear, and we did go the full 2 hours, damn near. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. We don't owe you guys anything. We gave you your episode.
Yeah, don't ask us for nothing.
That's
Never
it.
Again.
Buy the friggin' shower curtain now. No, but yeah.
Or the iPhone snap case.
Oh, that's what you were trying to push this week, the iPhone case. But yeah, no, we definitely appreciate you guys coming out and checking us out. We appreciate the recommendation, Andrew, to read this gay erotic fan fiction, and and you know, well, V, you got anything else you need to plug?
No, that's it, man. That's all I got. Thanks for coming out, guys. Especially on a Saturday, a Halloween Saturday. You guys could be doing other stuff like, you know, trick or treating or blowing dudes or whatever you guys do.
Definitely be blowing dudes. That's why James didn't come into the show until late.
Was busy blowing dudes.
I don't know. That's what I assume, because that's why he was late. But yeah, I guess I should plug James's show. Or James, he doesn't have a show. He has a stream. We don't call it a show because I don't want to hurt the name of what we do by referring to what he does as a show. But he has a live stream where he does video games. He's been doing a lot of what is it you do lately? You do some Among Us, and then you do some of that Phantasmophobia. And then he does some other stuff. But yeah, if you guys are into that, go and check him out. You Had Me at Gaming over on Twitch. He sits on there and he's always like panhandling for people to donate. And then apparently, like the other day, he got like a big donation and he was willing to offer me some of it. And I was like, oh yeah, totally. So that's why I'm here doing this. This is why I'm recommending you guys go over there, because he paid me to. But yeah, nice. So yeah, go do that. Go check that out. And no, VS, we haven't ever actually sold a shower curtain. I don't think that we ever will, because they're like $100. They're like the most expensive thing, and that's even after I took out the artist margin. Like we don't get anything from a shower curtain, I don't think. But it's funny to promote the shower curtain. I always recommend buying a shirt. There are some shirts that nobody in the world has, like the J-Rab shirt. The Wayfair shirt is not particularly popular. But yeah, those are the shirts that people don't have. What was the other one we just recently did? J-Rab and so what else?
The J-Rab shirt. The Wayfair shirt. The Dick one.
Yeah, the
Slenderman. The Slenderman.
Slenderman and the main logo are the t-shirts that people have. We don't have anybody who's ever bought you had me at Dickfoot, you've had me at Wayfair, and you've had me at J-Rab. We've never had anyone buy those. So be the only person in the world to have any of those shirts and, be cool. So that's my pitch. It's not a very good one, but, that's all it takes to be cool is to have a shirt that nobody else has. All right, guys. Thank you all for coming out. And if you haven't already, I know I browbeated you last time about going to vote, but if you haven't already, go do it. Even if it means voting for some nonsense party or nonsense candidate like Joe Jorgensen or whatever. As long as you vote, get
What's
your name.
What's that dude? Spike.
Spike, yeah. Vote for her vice president or her running mate, who's a brony. Yeah, go vote for that guy. I like how James is in the chat. Like, thanks, man. As if like my plug for his program was anything worth saying thank you for. You're welcome, James. But yeah, we'll see you all next week. And until then, enjoy this Joe Biden "Come On Man" video.
I learned a lot. Anyway, Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I learned so much. I learned black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What I have to do is I have to continue talking about the things. Come on, man. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw. I learned that I got hairy legs that turned blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. I love kids jumping on my lap. Oh, I'm in trouble. What are we, nuts? Dead. You know, come on, man. Give me a little break here. Get a life. Taking cocaine or not? What do you think? Huh? Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You have a problem figuring out whether you're from me or Trump, and you ain't black. Come on, man. The Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. I can hardly wait to meet with that guy who is the stable genius. Come on, man. I am very willing to let the public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Come on, man. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids. Come on, man. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record. I know a lot of weed smoking. Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds. But I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot. You know, come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test? I am, come on, man. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.